Overall, a disappointing budget for the real estate sector, but I would rate the budget good from an infrastructure point of view. From the real estate point of view, we had lots of expectations. Today, if you look at the economy, why the economy is faltering, one is consumption, the second is investment, and the third is job creation. If you look at the real estate sector today, we contribute to nearly 8% of the GDP, 11% of the workforce in the country after agriculture. We are the second largest employer of workforce in the country. So the government could have done a little more for the real estate sector to kind of help in the multiplier effect, which could have helped kickstart the economy again. So from that point of view, it was a little disappointing. Although she made a few small announcements like increasing 80 IBA to extending that by one more year. For this, basically 100% tax deduction for developers doing affordable housing schemes. The 80 EEA benefit which a home buyer gets from an interest point of view, which was announced last year, the 3.5 lakhs, that's been extended by one more year. The big bang thing she could have done was on section 24, if that 2 lakhs could have been made 5 lakhs or something, or PMAY, where she could have, that 60 square meter could have been made into a 90 square meter, or that 45 lakhs could have been made into a crore. We were expecting some big bang announcements like that. That didn't happen. But from an infrastructure point of view, a lot of good announcements. She spoke about putting in nearly 1.7 lakh crore on transport infrastructure, which was very good. The Mumbai-Delhi expressway getting ready by 2023, that was a good announcement. The Chennai-Bangalore expressway getting ready by 2023, that was again a good one. 5 more new smart cities, that's something positive. 100 new airports is positive. She spoke about creating a national new logistics policy, which will help in warehousing real estate across the country. There was also talk about cold storage, which will help in the warehousing sector. She also spoke about data centers, creating data centers across the country. That's an asset class which we have ignored so far. Now that'll definitely help. And I think from the education point of view, just the fact that she announced nearly 1 lakh crores for education, study in India, which will definitely help the education sector, and also attracting FDI into education. I think all these three will help in aspects like education, real estate and student housing. Also on the healthcare front, she spoke about 70,000 crores being invested in healthcare, which again has a direct impact on healthcare real estate. One thing positive again was simplification of tax code. So every time there is a simplification of tax, we have seen that helps increasing affordable housing and mid-market housing impact. But overall, if you look at it from nearly 80% of Indian real estate is housing, not much was announced there. From a 10% GDP growth rate, it's going to be quite tough given that the economy currently is growing at 4.5%. And yesterday's announcement spoke about us going to 5.5%, 6%. I don't know how we're going to move from 4.5%, 6% to straight 10%. That'd be great if you could reach there. We need to keep creating jobs. Close to 1 million people get into the workforce every month. It's like 12 million people. We didn't go for. We need to make sure those people get jobs and they don't go out protesting. That's something which needs to be fixed by the government. The commercial real estate is definitely doing well, but again 80% of Indian real estate is just housing, and I wouldn't put all bets of mine into just a small 2.5 hour, actually a long budget speech, longest budget speech. I would put in last year, if you remember, after the budget speech, the next few months she came out with a lot of announcements like reducing corporate tax rates from 30% to 22%. It was creating that 25,000 crore fund, last mile fund for stuck real estate projects. So I'm hoping the next few months she would make some big bang announcement, which is needed. Otherwise, how will we create jobs in our country? This was announced by the government in November first week, if you remember, and I was sitting with the SBI CAPS team, which is managing this fund. I was pleasantly surprised at the speed at which the government has gone around making sure all the approvals are given from a SEBI point of view. I won't be surprised if they do the first disbursement in less than a month, which is, we are talking of less than 3 months from announcing something to the first money being given. So I think on that front, the government has done a very good job in terms of setting this up and making sure money will be disbursed. Budget, I will focus on the real estate sector. I'm a domain expert of that sector. I would say from a real estate point of view, 3 out of 10. Maybe because expectations were sky high. Every day the media was carrying saying all these things are going to happen to the real estate sector. I was hoping the sunset clause would be extended. All those kind of things, like 10, 15 different things we were speaking about. And none of that actually happened, and I'm hoping it'll happen in the next few months. Affordable housing, there is the infrastructure status. See, luckily the commercial sector is doing well. Retail sector is doing well. The warehousing sector is doing well. She spoke about education, real estate. She spoke about data centers. Some of these alternates are doing well, but like I said, 80% is residential. And to kickstart the economy, that 80% has to be fixed.